If you press this button in this building on the Blue Gate map in Arc Raiders, you'll open up a secret loot bunker. But first, you'll need to press 3 more buttons hidden around the complex. Every single round, the buttons will differ in position, but here are a few spots that you can find. They can be hidden on the top of the building, in nearby buildings, or behind small cracks and crevices. Once it's open, you'll be able to go down into this bunker and find lots of high-tier loot. This wardrobe will make you rich. Let me explain. But first, here's how loot works. Have you ever been in a building in Arc Raiders and felt like there's no loot there? Well, let me explain how loot works in Arc Raiders. The loot that spawns is actually the wardrobe shelves and the containers. So each and every wardrobe can have a chance to have the wardrobe drawers spawned, which are lootable containers. So sometimes you'll come through a building and be unlucky because none of the wardrobe drawers have spawned, but in other cases, you'll have a bunch to loot through, and these things will make you rich. They have so many trinkets you can sell for extra money. You can get this champion in Raid Shadow Legends right now if you click the link in the description. It's a limited time offer, and you'll get all of these champions as you level up too. Thanks to Raid Shadow Legends for the sponsor. I've also got a channel for Raid Shadow Legends in the description as well. If you want to win more PvP fights in Arc Raiders, it's not about getting rarer weapons, it's about upgrading your weapons. In my experience, whoever has the bigger magazine is going to come out on top. So even if you're running a very low tier weapon like a Rattler, give it a few upgrades, the magazine size will increase, and you'll have a much higher chance of taking out players. One of the hardest things to do in Arc Raiders is extract safely, especially when other players are trying to do the same or trying to steal all your hard-earned loot right at the extract. The truth is though, most people near the extract are also trying to extract, and their only interest really is to just get out alive. They've already got a backpack filled with loot, so just tell them in voice chat or use the quip wheel to say that you're friendly, and this usually goes a lot better than you'd first expect. Friendly. Yeah, okay. Cool. Good job. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I'm friendly, dude. I'm friendly. We can leave together. It's fine. Look, I'm right here. Don't worry. And even if you get downed, you can still extract whilst downed. Now, this won't always be the case. Sometimes you'll have nasty extract campers trying to ruin your day no matter what. So here's a bit of a tip. If you see an extract camper, do enough damage to them first, and then instead of trying to go for the kill, use that opportunity to extract. They'll be busy bandaging and won't really have a chance to catch you before you extract safely. Now, in some cases, you might not want to kill the player, but you just can't trust them. So if you want to be a nice guy, you can knock them down and then use voice comms to tell them that they're free to extract with you. You'll find these field depots all over the place. Now, there'll always be a field crate nearby. They'll always spawn in the vicinity of the field depot. Picking it up and taking the field crate back to the field depot will get you loot. But did you know that you can get multiple field crates and put it in the same depot and you can refresh the loot container? The Uncovered Caches event is really good for building a supply of ammo and meds and sometimes even some weapons. Just listen to the ticking sound and turn your camera around so that you can use the directional audio to find the exact location. You can actually hide in bushes to dodge arc. If they've got the orange search beam, that means they haven't actively found you yet, and hiding in a bush actually works. I know this seems obvious to some, but this button will expand your stash size. Each subsequent expansion will cost more currency though. You know these free loadout augments? You can trade those with one of the traders to get a better looting augment. And you can trade them infinitely. You should upgrade to the refiner immediately. This will let you get mechanical components, and they're pretty easy to craft. These are going to be useful for crafting so many different weapons and attachments. However, if you're struggling to find mechanical components, search containers in residential areas. You'll find so many attachments there and you can break them down for mechanical parts. You should always go for the in-round crafting skill upgrade. A lot of people say that you should go for stamina upgrades, and whilst that can be handy, once you've got this, you can craft adrenaline shots in-game with just some chemicals and plastic, and that will instantly refresh your stamina upon use. You should also unlock the medicine bench and craft a bunch of adrenaline shots to take in with you each and every round. Photoelectric cloaks can be used to be completely invisible to arc, and guess what? You can find them a lot in residential areas at nighttime. Just search through all of the drawers and wardrobes and you'll find a lot of them. If you need simple gun parts, Arc can drop it, or you can recycle higher value gun parts. I'd only recommend that if you're very new to the game though. If you take damage, you should always use a bandage first. You will die if your base health goes to 0, even if you have shields. And shields don't work the same way as they do in a lot of Battle Royale. They just provide damage reduction. So pop a bandage first and then your shield. If you choose this skill, you can actually craft raider hatch keys whilst in a raid. If you're running low on metal parts, look for ice cream cones. These will be found a lot in residential areas, and you can salvage them mid-match to get metal parts. The Hornet can be a pain because you've got to try and aim on the back thrusters, right? Well, actually, if you just use the Rattler, which has moderate arc penetration, you can just shoot straight at the armored thruster and it will be destroyed really quickly. This turns out to be much more efficient than trying to get the perfect angle on the back thrusters. You can heal whilst sliding. You can also slide in different directions. As soon as you start the slide, just point your mouse or aim joystick in the direction you want to turn, and you'll slide in that direction. You can even do this to slide around corners. You'll want to upgrade the gear bench as soon as possible. This will get you access to the Looting Augment Mark II, which has 2 save slots. To get this, you will need to find power cables, and you can usually find these in electrical boxes all across the map. Whilst there are different loot zones, which explain where different loot types will be likely to spawn, each container can also have specific loot. The best thing to use is common sense. Electrical boxes will have electrics, fridges will usually have food and fruit, and sometimes weapons for some reason, and wardrobes and drawers will usually have residential items. Quick tip, try and be friendly. It actually works. I've had so many games where I've just said, hey, I'm friendly, and we've ended up vibing for the whole match and helping each other do quests, and it's been a pretty awesome time. The first Foothold quest is a little confusing on Blue Gate. Let me explain all of the locations. This is where you can find the observation deck to stabilize near the ridgeline. This is where you can find the comms terminal in the olive grove. This is where you can find the satellite dishes on the church roof. And this is where you can find the raider structure where you need to nail down the roof plates on Trapper's Glade. This is a weapon container, and they can spawn in all sorts of places. Sometimes you'll go to the same spot and it won't have a weapon container, so there's a random chance these can spawn, and yes, they can have epic rarity weapons inside. If you want to level up fast, make sure you loot other players' bodies. Even if you didn't kill that player and the body's been there for a while, you'll get 500 XP for each player's body that you loot. The same can be said for Arc, although you won't get as much XP. You can actually cancel reload on some weapons. If there's a segmented animation for the reload, that means you can cancel it. This works with weapons like the Rattler and the Anvil. You just need to click the fire button at any point to cancel the reload. You can run much faster than you'd first think. Look at this, I've got 5 minutes left on a raid, and we need to run 500 meters to escape. In total, it took me about 2 minutes 30 to run a distance of 500 meters. To be extra safe, give yourself 100 meters for every 1 minute of time in raid. You won't have to feel pressured about escaping too early. Most weapons in this game have some level of bloom, which means the faster you fire, the less accurate you'll be. This tip is especially useful if you're a bit longer range. Try to slow down your fire rate, and you have much better chance at hitting more precision shots. If you want to speak to other players, but you feel like you don't want to use your own voice, you can actually get a voice changer in-game, and these will be the voices that you'll be able to hear.
Hey Raider, can you hear me all right?
This way you don't have to feel uncomfortable about other people hearing your voice. You can completely customize your crosshair. Here are some settings I'd suggest. Move crosshair when line of fire is blocked is really useful. When you're in cover, the crosshair will tell you when you're unable to shoot, as you can see here. However, I like to have smooth move when line of fire is blocked turned off. Let's take a look at the difference. With it on, you'll see the crosshair slowly move to the location. However, with it off, you can see the crosshair instantly moves to the location you're aiming when you're able to shoot. For me, this gives you more instant feedback on when you're able to shoot and when you're not. The third-person camera change button will actually change the hand that you're holding your weapon. So if you want to peek a player from different angles, consider changing your stance first. You may also want to choose override crosshair shape and go through the settings here to choose a crosshair that you like. One of the most important things that you can use your crosshair for is understanding how high the bloom is. This is especially useful on a gun like a Anvil, as you'll need to wait for the bloom to reset before you fire again. I've gone for a very simple crosshair here, and it's very easy for me to see what I'm aiming at, and also I can see the bloom very clearly. You can see my crosshair settings here, If you go down to the bottom though, you can also choose the color of your crosshair. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you want more Arc Raiders tips, there's a video on screen now.